Fúnrẹ́rẹ́ àṣà ilé wa. Ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú eré ìdárayá. Ètò àwọn ọmọdé ẹ̀fẹ̀ lóríṣiríṣi. Ike TV àwọn ti máa wò ó. Ike TV ọ̀gá ni wá. Ìyókù làwa tàbí ṣẹlẹ̀. Ike TV Fúnrẹ́rẹ́ àṣà ilé wa. Ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú eré ìdárayá. Ètò àwọn ọmọdé ẹ̀fẹ̀ lóríṣiríṣi. Ike TV àwọn ti máa wò ó. Ike TV ọ̀gá ni wá. Ìyókù làwa tàbí ṣẹlẹ̀. Ike TV Channel 41 àwa la lára gbà yí dá.
Good afternoon and welcome to the O News. I am Olayinka Ilori. The Ekiti State government has promised to continue to provide alternative livelihood for groups or persons whose properties were affected by the implementation of Ekiti Knowledge Zone projects. Governor Biodun Oyebanji made the statement while presenting checks to 195 persons affected by the project within Ado and Ijan Ekiti. Government House reporter Yemi Olajutemu has the rest of the story.
Governor Ebanji highlighted the critical importance of the knowledge zone to tackling various challenges of the state, including unemployment, market for creativity, wealth creation, and human capital development. Thanked the community leaders and affected people for embracing dialogue and giving space for the development projects in the state. He noted that the facilities around the zone, including the International Cargo Airport, the Ring Road, among others, will spur the state to rapid growth.
As a state celebrated with intellectual capital, you are choosing to leverage this unique strength to drive inclusive economic growth and create a vibrant hub for innovation and service-driven investors. EKZ is projected to deliver over 14,000 jobs, particularly for youth. The clear test for tackling employment, unemployment, and building sustainable future for generations yet to come.
The government thanked the African Development Bank and the federal government for lifting the financial burden of the projects from the state government. Oyebanji thereafter applauded the Ekiti State Development and Investment Promotion Agency, EDIPA, overseeing the projects, assured the people that all communities in the state will continue to enjoy dividends of democracy.
Let me reiterate our institution will commitment to transparent and inclusive government. We will continue to uphold processes that respect the rights and contributions of all stakeholders while ensuring that the benefits of development are shared across every corner of our beloved state.
Also, the project coordinator of Ekiti Knowledge Zone and Director General, EDIPA, Mrs. Lolade Ubutola, lauded the administration for its transparency and ensuring that no community and persons are left behind in the development of the state.
This event reflects the commitment of the administration to ensure that the development of Ekiti leaves no one behind. And we thank you, Mr. Governor of the State, Mr. Biodun Oyebanji, for your first person, the people's approach to governance, and for making sure that communities' welfare remains at the heart of this state.
The Omejo of Ekiti, Obadebanji Aladisri, on behalf of the beneficiaries, described the knowledge zone as complete solution to the problems of the state.
Is a complete solution to the problem that we have in Nigeria, both technological, physical, intellectual, and so many others. And I'm happy that we have a government that is doing this in Egypt, because we call ourselves the intellectual giants in Nigeria. The knowledge zone is very, very appropriate for Mr. Governor.
Yemi Olajutemi reporting.
The Secretary to the Ekiti State Government, Professor Abibat Adubiaro, has again highlighted the achievements of Governor Biodun Oyebanji's administration in the areas of infrastructure, education, healthcare, youth empowerment, and economic development. Professor Adubiaro, during a regular monthly engagement in Ado-Ekiti, urged all political stakeholders to continue to propagate the success of the administration to their constituents and mobilize grassroots support ahead of the election. She noted that Governor had demonstrated uncommon dedication and competence in governance and deserved their support. Former Deputy Governor in the state, Professor Modupe Adelabu, in her contribution, described Governor Oyebanji as a leader with vision and compassion. Similarly, Senator Babafemi Ojudu called on all political leaders from Ado-Ekiti to put aside personal interest and work in unity to return the governor for a second term. The Forum of Chairmen and Members of Commissions, Board and Agencies in Ekiti State has joined the list of groups calling on Governor Biodun Oyebanji to recontest for a second term in office. At a ceremony in Ado-Ekiti, the Forum unanimously endorsed the governor and his deputy for the next year governorship election. DSS reporter Abayomi Peke completes the story.
The mini pavilion at Fajuyi in Ado-Ekiti, the venue of the ceremony, was filled with posters with different descriptions calling on Governor Oyebanji to run for a second term in office. In his opening remarks, the chairman of the forum, Chief Alaba Bejide, who is the chairman Local Government Service Commission, said the group endorsed the governor and his deputy for another term as an expression of their appreciation to the present administration for providing a living environment at their various establishments.
We are therefore unanimously calling on the governor, Mr. Biodun Oyebanji, to declare his interest to contest for the positions of the executive governor of the state in 2026.
The chairman board for vocational and technical education, Pastor Kayede Babade, moved a motion for the endorsement, seconded by a member of the House of Assembly Commission, Mrs. Folarishi Adeosi, and ratified by the Ekiti State House of Assembly Speaker, Mr. Adeoye Aribasoye.
If a favor that Governor Biodun Oyebanji be endorsed by all members, chairmen and members, and Mr. Governor continues in 2030. Say
Earlier, representatives of the forum from the 3 senatorial districts in the state who took turns to express the reasons for the endorsement said Governor Oyebanji's performance in less than 3 years in office was unprecedented. The Secretary to the State Government, Professor Abibat Adubiaro, and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Political Matters, Chief Jide Awe, expressed the determination of the Governor to continue to work on his mandate to improve the living standard of the people.
thank God for today that you believe so much in Governor Biodun Oyebanji, in monumental achievements he has recorded so far. I really appreciate you.
The reward of hard work is to work more. And I think Mr. Governor is listening.
In separate interviews, some members of the forum said the program, which was the first of its kind among the political office holders in commissions, boards and agencies, was part of values of democracy.
There is no commission for a certain agency and board that he has never touched.
They are exercising their right to tell the governor to throw his hat into the ring second time, having performed very credibly.
Our government have done a lot in terms of training all our teachers, moving our teachers from grade level 15 to 16.
He promised to ensure that the governor and his deputy were returned to the government house for another term of 4 years. Abayomi Peke reporting.
Ahead of the conduct of next year's governorship election in Ekiti State, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has announced the notice of election with a call on the stakeholders to play the game according to the rules. The Ekiti State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Bumi Omosheyindemi, made the announcement in Ado-Ekiti. Our reporter, Thomas, has the rest of the story.
The meeting, which attracted representatives of political parties and journalists, was an avenue to intimate relevant stakeholders about the approval of the timetable and schedule of activities for the conduct of the election by the Commission. Dr. Omosheyindemi says that the meeting was in line with the provision of Section 28(1) of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, which mandates the Commission to issue the notice of the election not later than a year before the appointed date for the election.
It is in compliance with this statutory provision that we are gathered here today to formally notify stakeholders of the Commission's intention and schedule to conduct the Ekiti State Governorship election in 2026. Although the detailed timetable and the schedule of activities for Ekiti Governorship election have been uploaded to INEC website and social media platforms.
The state INEC boss expressed the commitment of the electoral body to uphold transparency, fairness and professionalism in the process of conducting a credible election in 2026. He charged political actors to adhere to the rules of engagement in the conduct of party primaries and other activities in line with electoral guidelines, calling on media professionals to uphold professionalism in their news reportage.
As always, INEC remain committed to upholding the highest standard of transparency, professionalism and fairness in all our processes. We expect that the political parties will reciprocate this by adhering strictly to the rules of engagement, particularly in conduct of their party primaries, submission of candidates and campaigns, and in accordance with the Electoral Act and Commission's guidelines.
Representatives of the various political parties present at the meeting were given copies of the schedule and timetable for the election, while same are expected to be pasted on the notice board of the Commission's offices at the local government level across the state. Olushola Thomas reporting.
A university don, Professor Christopher Oluwadare, has identified lack of investments in the education and health sectors as causes of the various problems facing Nigeria. He made his position known while delivering the 93rd inaugural lecture of the Ekiti State University titled, "What is Really Wrong with You? I Don't Know, a Psychological Diagnosis Without End." BSS reporter Olushola Thomas said that the ceremony was presided over by the Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Joseph Ayodele. The report.
The lecture had in attendance academic scholars from within and outside the state, family members, traditional rulers, and religious leaders. The professor of medical sociology, who defined total health as the idealized state of physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual, charged governments and individuals to always do the right thing to attain a healthy society.
Illness as I said, a more subjective assessment of the feeling of being sick, which can be confirmed by less significant others, like our parents, friends, especially in our culture. Our mothers like using the back of their palms to measure child temperature, pressing the part of the body and asking, are you feeling pain? A professional significant others for us in sociology does not exclude our indigenous like the Babalawos, the Onishegus, the Adamches, the professional healers, and also the Afars and the Wolis, because they engage in spiritism for healing and they are part of the significant others in healing and health seeking.
Professor Oluwadare, who condemned the spate of killings and insecurity in the country, attributed the menace to high poverty level, arbitrary inflation, poor access to good water, lack of healthcare services, fake drugs, and corruption in all sectors of the country.
It is not money, it is not economy that's a problem. Look at banditry, look at kidnapping.
Look at Boko Haram. Everything boils down to poor access to education. Once people are educated, they will take informed decisions. So I'm just knocking on the door of government, not only federal government, state government and the local government. Let them do the needful.
The medical sociologists identified corrupt practices at the various levels of health system in the country to include diversion of medical materials, absenteeism, favoritism in attending to patients, and recruitment, adding that leadership determines the type of corrupt practices displayed in different hospitals. He called on leaders to develop the political will to implement the international agreements of the 2001 that 15% annual budgetary allocation of our state and country be allocated to the health sector in the country.
It is a clarion call. It's an advocacy. Take all those recommendations one by one, and you find out that within the next decade, Nigerian problem will be over.
The Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Joseph Ayodele, in an interview described the lecture as apt. He expressed hope of a better Nigeria if various recommendations of the lecturer are implemented by governments and relevant stakeholders.
All of us should take care of our health, look at from the cultural perspective, spiritual and psychological perspective.
He expressed hope of a better Nigeria if the various recommendations of the lecturer are implemented by governments and relevant stakeholders. Olushola Thomas reporting.
The June edition of the monthly environmental sanitation exercise will hold in Ekiti State on Saturday from 7 to 10 in the morning. Movements of people and vehicles will be restricted except for those on essential duties, supervisors and candidates writing the 2025 NECO examinations. Government workers are expected to clean their offices and surroundings, while market vendors are to tidy up their business premises. The theme of this month's environmental exercise is "A Cleaner Environment Begins with You," encouraging personal responsibility for hygiene. Residents are advised to clean drainages and proper dispose of their waste, as environmental officers, NGOs, and security personnel will monitor compliance, while a mobile court will be on ground to prosecute violators of sanitation laws. That's the Home News. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.